Today I'm in my room. There's fires all over Los Angeles right now. Lots of people are losing their homes. My family and I are okay. I just hope others are. My favorite place in this city is Malibu because I would look out into the ocean and I was close to all these nice restaurants and happy people, and it made me feel like this humanity thing, we have it under control. And then it all burned. The place that made me feel stable, it wasn't so firm and unshakable after all. This concept of civilization is still being written. These fires are so tragic, and it proved to me that if Mother Nature can wreck the world, surely mankind can reshape it. Making an effect is within our reach. In this video, we're going to talk about three things: the vision, the goal, and how we're going to achieve it. Our vision is to provide housing to every person at no cost. What makes us different is people in the past tried to make affordable social housing at a low cost. Ours is free because it's what people deserve. And we are not building homeless shelters. We're making universal housing for all. People are born on this planet with no choice at all, and they have to spend most of their life working to pay it off. That's a problem, and someone has to make a solution. But I go about my day and I look around me, and I just don't know if it's in the best interest of the world to give you that solution. And until my dying breath, I'm gonna make sure that this gets done. That was really dramatic. Well, dude, if you think about it, this is pretty dramatic. Who are you? Who are you? This is my room. Never mind. There are a lot of advantages here. Without the need to pay rent, it stimulates the economy, it relieves people's debt, and your financial stress turns into personal development and freedom. But these benefits don't ultimately matter. Free housing is so basic it doesn't need an explanation. It just needs a plan. We've just been so accustomed to the idea of having to pay for something we inherently deserve. I don't know who you are. I just know that you didn't ask for your life. You shouldn't have to pay the price. Our vision is simple: a roof for every person. What's our goal? Our goal is to acquire land to build housing and start by purchasing properties like existing apartment buildings and then invite the world to live there. We'll have an online application that operates on a lottery basis. So if our first residence is our prototype, we'll start small. We'll have 10 to 20 available units, and people will be chosen out of the lottery and will sign a lease that offers them that place for as long as they'd like. They'll undergo a background check and must agree to follow the building's safety rules, like no smoking, respecting noise regulations. This isn't official, but what I'd like to do is to have a percentage of applicants ensure certain groups are included. Like, for example, 10% of the units are to be occupied by elderly citizens, veterans, those fleeing from natural disaster, single-parent families, but the largest category must be toward anyone in the public. From what I've been seeing on real estate websites, the approximate value of the first residence is $1 million. It's crucial to be energy efficient and cost effective when looking for these buildings, but also to be ethical about what free housing looks like. To me, it's a private space with a place to cook and a bathroom. This is home. It's not shelter from a storm, nor is it meant to be luxurious. It should reflect dignity and independence. Third, the biggest question: how will we achieve this? How will we financially turn this dream into reality? Actually, from my first video last week, there were only 2 comments, and both of them asked this question: where are you going to get the money? The answer is fundraising like never ever before. We're essentially raising money for the most relevant unsolved problem in history. A problem that is highly unlikely to be solved if we do nothing. We're asking you to donate. And a donation isn't just an amount of money you'll never see again, like crowdfunding for an indie movie or paying someone's bail. Your money, that energy, is guaranteed to physically directly change the world. There is no not changing the world. Everything we raise goes only to housing. One of the comments said that we should check out Habitat for Humanity, which is a nonprofit that builds housing. There's just a few issues. One, it's only for low-income individuals. My mom actually applied when my sister and I were kids. She didn't get in, but because it targets the poor, it's not truly universal. Two, the requirement for that home is you have to work 250 hours building homes. It's called sweat equity, which is a cool model, but I consider housing something you don't have to be worthy of. You are. You don't need to earn it, you just need to receive it. And three, lastly, the CEO makes $450,000 a year. Yes! Jesus Christ. Look at the rest of their staff. Look at their team. Okay? Holy sh... Non-profit. More like little... Whoa. They might be wonderful people, but honestly, there will never come a day where these numbers will ever make sense to me. Me and my team, we're all volunteers. We don't get paid. We desperately love this mission. You know why I'm in it? Partly because I'm suspicious about the world. Trust doesn't come easy to me. I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist. I just don't believe people's intentions. And I see the goodness of the world in front of me all the time, through random acts of kindness. So I know the world is good. But when that goodness is given a platform, let's say, in the form of a company or government, corruption enters the room. So no penny made from Actum will ever go to me or my team's wallet. Running the company as a volunteer also helps me work harder because something changes when you get paid for something you love. I can't explain it. It's like it's not fully real anymore. I think I'm down -$1,000 starting Actum. The IRS application called the 1023, that was $600. We needed a P.O. box, which was $236, and then a lot of filing fees, like $35 here and there. And I hope to be down hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future throughout my career because I don't see it as down. I see it as up. Every dollar I give is for a better world that I get to see, and no corrupt entity can touch it. It's an investment in the world and the people I've never met, but already love. Another YouTube comment said the mission to create universal housing is unrealistic with all the costs and logistics involved. But to me, it's just not a good enough reason to sway us. Everything costs money. Public schools, preserving wildlife, eradicating disease. These costed billions of dollars. Highways. What? Highways cost money. What were we gonna say? Walk? Exactly. That's a good point. It was your point. What? It was your point. You made me say it because you created me in order to have a dash of humor in your videos because you're afraid that your passion for this cause is too serious and therefore not enough to appeal to the majority of the world. Don't make me say it. Get back to work. Money is probably the biggest obstacle, but the least convincing argument to give up. Thank you for your comments. I do read them, but I feel that at some point it's just better to show you the results of what we're doing. Universal housing seems silly and unreasonable now, but one day it won't be. Phase 1. Establish the organization. On our end, this just looks like a lot of paperwork and processing times for the government. Estimated time, 6 months. Phase 2. Launch our fundraiser. Everything from crowdfunding, corporate sponsors, private donors, and grants. Phase 3. Secure the first Actum residents and begin the lottery application. Phase 4. Scale and expand. Look for unused land, grow our presence, update you guys, keep you involved, and engage with your ideas. Improve efficiency of construction, incorporate solar technology, and honestly, make sure that our metrics for success are being achieved. Are people being housed at no cost? If no, house them. If yes, house more. Now let's be practical and run the numbers. You can't house every person on Earth solely on donations. It's not long lasting. What's the solution? Well, Actum has a sustainable financial model, so that with an initial amount invested, we can afford to build an infinite number of housing. This is just a draft model, but here's where I'm at. Nonprofits can invest in the stock market. Several do it, actually. And among the stock market community, one of the most low-risk, stable investments you can make is in the S&P 500, which are the top 500 largest U.S. companies. Steady growth. Last year, its return was 33%. So if you invested $1 million, you'd have made over $300,000 essentially waiting a whole year doing nothing. It's how the rich get richer. But to us, it's how the world will be housed. With S&P 500, Sometimes the years aren't so good back to back, but if you look at the data, it has an average return of 8%. We're not gambling money. We're not day trading. We are carefully picking one proven fund and using its returns so that we can annually generate more and more universal homes. And so step one, Actum has to raise enough money in order to even get significant returns. But once it does, it can generate a sustainable structure that doesn't need to rely on donations, possibly building new residences every year forever. We just have to file the annual returns to the government, detailing the numbers, and what we have as a company will be public information on our website. To raise that money, the hardest part is starting. It's the beginning of the race that'll challenge us. But the future of the human race is dependent on what we can raise now. The way we're gonna be able to walk forward into a better world is if we are all in some way holding hands. And to do that, you have to reach toward the other person. And that's what we're asking you to do. To reach your hand. Jeez. But it doesn't need to be some dramatic thing. This is exciting. Actum is about giving the human race what it deserves. That's joy. So let's call the reaching hand a high five. Our campaign over the next 50 years is about giving a high five. 1, 2, 3, 4, $5 from everyone. Once. This is a one-time pledge that will echo for generations. One simple high five is a powerful gesture to unlock a better world for everyone. In some countries, $5 is a coffee, 1/10 of a parking ticket. But in other countries, it's a whole day's work of wages. $5 American dollars is a lot. It's 650 yen, 510 rupees, 90 pesos. So we don't take that number lightly. But this cause, it needs all of us, and asks you to give a high five. Because it's crazy, but it's very, very possible that your hand will lay the first stone in the foundation of a new world, a new era for mankind.